What's going on, baseball fans? So in this video today, I'm going to tell you one player that each team should sign in free agency this offseason. The rules are simple. I have to go over each team and I can only use a player one time. So let's get into it. Starting off with the Arizona Diamondbacks, I think they should sign Jackie Bradley Jr. While I do think the Diamondbacks need to shore up their starting pitching, which ranked 26th in FIP last season, I think they need to have a solid center fielder, and Jackie Bradley Jr. fits the bill. He plays great defense and will bring a decent bat as well. Up next, I think the Atlanta Braves should sign Marcell Ozuna. This one is actually interesting because I actually think it depends. If the designated hitter is brought back to the National League moving forward, which I think it should, I don't care what you think it should because more bats are fun, then they should absolutely bring back Marcell Ozuna. However, if there is no DH, then I think Ozuna's glove is not worth it out there, and they should focus on starting pitching. Charlie Morton would be a great fit for the Braves, as he brings not only starting pitching depth, but big game experience for the playoffs. The Baltimore Orioles should sign Taiwan Walker. The Orioles did not have good starting pitching last year, as they only ranked 25th in FIP last season. However, Taiwan Walker had a decent season last year coming off of Tommy John surgery, posting a 2.70 ERA and 8 strikeouts per 9. At only 28 years old, he would be a good fit for the rebuilding Orioles. Up next, the Boston Red Sox should sign Corey Kluber. With the Red Sox starting pitching posting the worst FIP last season, they could really use some starting pitching. With Eduardo Rodriguez coming back for 2021, Chris Sale coming back from Tommy John at some point later in the year, as well as prospect Tanner Houck and Phillies castoff Nick Pivetta looking solid towards the end of 2020, the starting pitching should be better in 2021. Why not take a chance on Corey Kluber? The former Cy Young winner's value has dropped significantly over the last couple of seasons due to arm problems, and signing him shouldn't break the bank. He also has his offseason home in Massachusetts. It could be a win-win for both sides, and a lightning in a bottle move like this could help put the Red Sox back in the playoff picture. Up next, the Chicago White Sox should sign Jake Odorizzi. The White Sox have a solid top of the rotation with Lucas Giolito and Dallas Keuchel, along with Dane Dunning showing a lot of promise in his rookie year. However, they could use some more depth, and a healthy Jake Odorizzi would be a great middle of the rotation arm for the White Sox as they're looking to take a step forward in 2021. The Chicago Cubs should sign Ha-Seong Kim. The Cubs have made it known that pretty much everyone on their team are available this offseason, including shortstop Javier Baez. With the Cubs looking like they're about to embark on a retooling phase, why not invest in the future and bring in one of the best players from the KBO, shortstop Ha-Seong Kim? At only 25 years old with a lot of tools, he could be the Cubs shortstop of the future and help them get through a transitioning phase. The Cincinnati Reds should sign Marcus Semien. Simply put, the Reds need offense as they ranked 25th overall in the majors last year. One of their worst positions offensively was shortstop, so this could be an area that they shore up over the next few seasons. With Trevor Bauer likely heading elsewhere, why not use that money on shortstop Marcus Semien? He did have a bit of a down 2020 season, but he was awesome in 2019. If Semien regroups for 2021, that offense could be sneaky good. Coming up next, the Cleveland Indians should sign Michael Brantley. Just like the Reds, the other team in Ohio, the Indians, need a boost in offense as well, especially from their outfielders. Michael Brantley coming back to his former team could be a welcome addition as he can hit for average, some power, and he gets on base extremely well. However, if the Indians end up trading Francisco Lindor, they might be better off acquiring someone like Didi Gregorius. The Colorado Rockies should sign Brandon Kinsler. In my opinion, Brandon Kinsler and the Rockies are a match made in heaven. The Rockies bullpen was atrocious last season, ranking 28th in FIP. Brandon Kinsler, on the other hand, had success despite a pretty high FIP of 5.00, but he posted an ERA of 2.22. What makes him a great fit for the Rockies, though, is his sinker that he uses about 75% of the time, along with his ability to not give up hard hit balls. With that Colorado Rockies defense behind him, Kinsler could be a welcome addition for that bullpen. Up next, I think the Detroit Tigers should sign JT Realmuto. This one could be the most surprising on this list, but really, the Tigers should bring in JT Realmuto. They desperately need some catching, considering they ranked 29th in production from their catchers last season, and with Austin Romine on his way out, along with their internal options not really showing much promise, Realmuto would shore up that position for them for the years to come as they try to rebuild a contender. Maybe Realmuto could be the first major step in that direction. Up next, the Houston Astros should sign Brandon Workman. The Astros could use some more bullpen help, and one guy that has done fairly well over the last few seasons is Brandon Workman. While he didn't fare too well with the Phillies after being traded there from the Red Sox, he's averaged a 2.92 ERA and a 3.52 FIP over the last few seasons. He's originally from Texas, so maybe a homecoming to be a setup man for the Astros bullpen could be a good fit. The Kansas City Royals should sign Rick Porcello. In all honesty, what the Royals really need to focus on is player development during their rebuild. However, while they do have some talented younger starting pitchers like Brady Singer, Chris Bubic, and Brad Keller, they only ranked 25th overall in starting pitching. Why not make a low-risk move by bringing in Rick Porcello? He hasn't had the most success in the last couple of seasons, but he'll give you innings, and he's familiar with pitching in the AL Central during his time with the Tigers. This could be a win-win for both sides. Coming up next, I have the Los Angeles Angels signing Trevor Bauer. This one might be the easiest on this list. The Angels need pitching, especially an ace. Trevor Bauer is a pitcher and an ace. He grew up in California. The Angels have money. Just get it done. The defending World Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers should sign Justin Turner. Despite the injuries that he's been having in the last couple of seasons, Justin Turner is the heart and soul of that team. When he's healthy, the bat is as solid as they get. I say you keep Justin Turner at third base for the next couple of years. The Miami Marlins should sign Trevor May. While the Marlins were a great surprise last year, their bullpen did struggle as a whole last season, minus Brandon Kinsler, but he was more of a ground ball pitcher. The Marlins could really use a guy that can rack up some strikeouts, as they ranked dead last in the majors in strikeouts per 9 from their bullpen in 2020. One guy sitting out there is Trevor May, who has quietly had success with the Twins after Tommy John surgery in 2017. Over the last 3 seasons, he's averaged an ERA of 3.19, an FIP of 3.56, but more importantly, a strikeout per 9 rate of 12.2, which includes almost 15 strikeouts per 9 in 2020. He would help that Marlins bullpen tremendously. The Milwaukee Brewers should sign Tommy Lestella. I personally think the Brewers and Tommy Lestella are a great fit. The Brewers had a terrible offense last season, ranking dead last in contact percentage, while Tommy Lestella ranked second overall in contact percentage. Along with this, he had a 370 on base and a 129 WRC+. He can also play multiple positions, and he would really help a stagnant Brewers team. Coming up next, the Minnesota Twins should sign Nelson Cruz. While the offense as a whole didn't click on all cylinders like it did in 2019, Nelson Cruz was one of the constants in 2020, hitting .303 with 16 homers and an OPS of .992 over 53 games. Bring him back and hope the rest of the offense starts to produce more in 2021. The New York Yankees should sign Blake Treinen. While the Yankees' biggest free agent is DJ LeMahieu, I think they could cancel out the loss of him by acquiring a better defensive shortstop and sliding Gleyber Torres over to second. One area the Yankees really struggled in last season was the bullpen, where they only ranked 21st overall. A veteran arm in Blake Treinen that throws in the upper 90s is exactly something the Yankees could use to help stabilize their bullpen. And for the other team in New York, the New York Mets should sign Liam Hendricks. Like the Yankees, the Mets have multiple areas to work on, but in my opinion, the biggest one of concern is the bullpen, in which they ranked 22nd. While there are some talented arms in that bullpen, they really don't have a shutdown kind of guy for the 9th inning. Liam Hendricks would address that need immediately, and he would be a great fit in Queens. The Oakland Athletics should sign Angelton Simmons. With Marcus Semien likely heading elsewhere this offseason, the A's could use another shortstop. Why not bring in a familiar rival in Angelton Simmons? The A's are a team that love to have defense, and Simmons would bring one of the best gloves at shortstop to their team. The Philadelphia Phillies should sign Brad Hand. The Phillies are one team that desperately needs bullpen help, especially from the left side. in which they only ranked 21st in FIP last season from their left-handed relievers. One guy that immediately comes to mind is Brad Hand, who converted all of his save attempts last season and has averaged a 2.85 ERA, a 2.78 FIP, and 13 strikeouts per 9 over the last 3 seasons. He would kill 2 birds with 1 stone in this Phillies bullpen. The Pittsburgh Pirates should sign Matt Shoemaker. I mean, let's be real, the Pirates don't really have anything going on right now, but one guy that has been looking to restore his career is Matt Shoemaker. He shouldn't really cost all that much, and the Pirates could use some starting pitching. Why not? The San Diego Padres should sign Trevor Rosenthal. The Padres had an incredible trade deadline this past season, but one deal that was overshadowed a bit because of the Mike Clevenger trade was the trade for Trevor Rosenthal. After missing all of 2018 due to Tommy John surgery and working his way back in 2019, he had a fantastic 2020 season, saving 11 games total and posting an ERA of 1.90 with a strikeouts per 9 of 15.3. He was simply dominant with the Padres, not giving up 1 run. I think they should work out a new contract. The San Francisco Giants should sign Kirby Yates. With the Padres probably moving on from Kirby Yates, a team nearby could greatly use his services, and that's the San Francisco Giants. While the Giants could use some more starting pitching, one area I think they need to address more is the bullpen. It only ranked 25th last season, and they really lacked a consistent closer as they had 5 different guys with a save. Kirby Yates was dominant with the Padres when he was healthy, and despite some elbow issues this past season, he should be ready to go in 2021. He could very well help a Giants team in need of a shutdown guy at the end of games. The Seattle Mariners should sign Alex Colemay. The Mariners had a terrible bullpen last season, ranking dead last. Alex Colemay won't strike out a lot of guys, but he's gotten the job done in his career, averaging a 2.62 ERA since 2016. He would be a solid guy to bring in to help bring some stability to that bullpen while that team goes through their rebuild. The St. Louis Cardinals should sign George Springer. This one will probably not happen because the Cardinals don't seem to be willing to spend a lot of money this offseason. Should this happen though? Absolutely. The Cardinals offense overall only ranked 20th last season, and their outfielders' offensive production only ranked 27th. Adding a plus bat like Springer's would greatly improve their lineup. The Tampa Bay Rays should sign James McCann. The defending American League champion Rays are currently without a catcher as the Rays declined Mike Zunino's option and waived Michael Perez and Kevin Smith. Not only do the Rays need a catcher, but they could use some more offense in general, considering they only had a .693 OPS in the postseason. James McCann would help address this area, especially at a position the Rays struggled with offensively last season, in which they only ranked 25th. Up next, the Texas Rangers should sign Chris Archer. The Rangers are going nowhere. John Daniels, what are you doing? They don't really have a team capable of competing, and they don't really have much of a farm system. Why not take a chance on a high upside guy like Chris Archer for a 1-year deal? If he ends up producing results like Taiwan Walker did for the Mariners last season, maybe they could trade him at the deadline to a contender and bring in a prospect or two. The Toronto Blue Jays should sign James Paxton. Simply put, the Blue Jays need more pitching depth. The Blue Jays tend to not spend too much money, but one guy that shouldn't be too expensive is James Paxton. He's a native of Canada and would provide the Blue Jays another quality lefty arm alongside Hyun-Jin Ryu as they try to morph back into a contending team. Last but not least, I have the Washington Nationals signing DJ LeMahieu. When the Nationals lost Anthony Rendon to the Angels last offseason, you could feel the impact it made to the lineup this past year. With the Nationals currently without a first baseman and having some uncertainty at second base and third base, a perfect candidate to fill all of these needs would be DJ LeMahieu. He would be able to move around the infield while providing some solid protection for Juan Soto in the lineup. With that Nationals pitching looking to be at full health this upcoming season, DJ LeMahieu could help the Nationals get back into playoff contention. This would be a perfect fit. So those are the players that I think each team should sign this offseason in free agency. Tell me what you think down below. Would you make any other different signings? But that's all I got for this video today. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.